Worst in show. This is Albert. And this is Albert's pet monster, Sydney. Albert thinks Sydney is the best pet monster in the world. And today, Albert is going to prove it. Albert is entering Sydney in the best pet monster in the world competition. There are 5 rounds in the best pet monster in the world competition, and the pet monster who receives the most points overall wins. Round 1, hairiest warts. The judges clamor all over the monsters with their measuring devices, and the monsters puff themselves up to show off their big, colorful, hairy warts. Goodness, the size, the hairs. The judges, one faints and another breaks out in a rash. Sydney has done his best, but Sydney, who has a bath every other day with lots of soap and bubbles, hasn't got any warts, just a few freckles. Goodness, the embarrassment, thinks Albert. Still, it's only round 1, and who wants a big, hairy, warty, pimply pet anyway? Round 2, highest hover. Everybody has moved outside to see how high the monsters can hover. The judges use hot air balloons and very long tape measures to measure the monster's hovering height. Goodness, the height, the wind, the judges. One faints and another floats away in her untethered balloon. Sydney has done his best, but Sydney is scared of heights, so Sydney hovers very near to the ground, so near to the ground, in fact, that his feet are still touching it. Goodness, the embarrassment, thinks Albert. Still, it's only round 2, and who wants a pet monster hovering around all day, bumping into things anyway? Round 3, most parasites. Some of the pet monsters have so many parasites that the judges have had to ask the parasites to get off their monster and line up to be counted. Goodness, the numbers, the variety. The judges, one faints and another starts scratching frantically. Sydney has done his best, but Sydney only has 2 parasites, Stan and Ollie. And since Stan and Ollie are just staying for a few days, they are really tourists rather than parasites. Goodness, the embarrassment, thinks Albert. Still, it's only round 3, and who wants a pet monster with hundreds of parasites hanging around causing all sorts of mischief anyway? Round 4, smelliest fart. The monsters position themselves. On the count of 3, they all F-A-R-T. Goodness, the smell, the noise. The judges, one faints and another runs off holding his nose. Sydney has done his best, but a diet of frosted cookies and cupcakes means barely a whiff, and a sugary whiff at that. Goodness, the embarrassment, thinks Albert. Still, it's only round 4, and who wants a big smelly pet monster anyway? It's the final round. Round 5, hottest breath. There is chaos on stage. The monsters take in great big gulps of air and breathe out great big bellows of fire. One of the TV cameras catches fire and So do the curtains. Goodness! The heat, the smoke. The judges. One faints, and another runs away holding her hot bottom. Sidney has done his best, but he has only been able to warm up a party sausage that Albert has put on a little fork. Goodness! The embarrassment, thinks Albert forlornly. Still, who wants their bottom set on fire anyway? After all the day's excitement, at last it's time for the prize giving. Albert and Sidney wait in eager anticipation as the dignitaries hand out the trophies. Best in show. But as trophy after trophy is presented to the other pet monsters, it becomes apparent to Albert and Sidney that they are not the winners. Goodness, the embarrassment. But wait, Albert and Sidney's names are being called out. Are they winners after all? A new record! Huh? The lowest score in 100 years. Freckles instead of warts, 0 for hovering, 2 comical tourists instead of parasites, pathetic sugary farts, and a lukewarm party sausage. Worst in show! Worst in show? Goodness! The embarrassment? Still, thinks Albert, who wants a big, hairy, high-flying, parasite-infested, smelly, flammable pet monster anyway? Especially when you can have a big, cuddly, lovable best friend who smells great. The end.